All right, this is the Air Conservation Commission meeting Thursday, November 29th, 2018. Any changes to the agenda?
None.
Motion to approve the agenda as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting minutes? I got it.
You got your own?
Any comments on the minutes? Motion to approve minutes is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Announcements?
Not a single one. From me.
Okay.
I don't have one either.
Accounts payable?
None of those either.
I have that.
I have that too.
Oh, you have all your supporting documentation there?
Well, if that's not good enough,
So you've got that with your, does it have your name on it?
no. I looked in the whole thing. They don't put your name on the other
Every
sheets, and
single
I mailed
page?
in my payment. Yeah, this is 2 pages
Does this have the last 4 of the number?
right there.
Okay.
Yes.
I will try. I can't make any promises.
Tell her I will complain to Robert.
Okay.
Write that down.
Yes.
We have a invoice for $110 for Ms. Gugino to attend the MACC conference. So, motion to approve reimbursement.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does that complete the, so did everybody get theirs in?
I have one.
Oh, you have the, sorry.
I can show them my card. This is like my card. I
And
don't want to
I
give
have an
you all the
invoice
numbers.
for $110 for me to
This is,
attend the MACC conference. Motion to approve reimbursement.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just maybe we should go to accounting together.
It just makes me mad.
It just makes me mad.
Abusive volunteers. But yes, I'd be happy.
It's not too easy on the staff either.
Oh, but they put you through?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mailed it, my payment in before. And then, because it used to be that your name was on all the sheets. And it's like, I
Download a copy.
think I'd have to set it up online to do that. Then you have to remember passwords.
It's a little pop up.
Yeah. I have to step on it.
You won't just
It's a troubling,
Try.
Oh, it's got a wire.
troubling, I agree. There's like so many passwords, it's unreal.
Well, and sometimes you have an old password that you don't realize you did and you've lost it, and then you can't set up something new because it says, oh, you have to go into your old thing to change it, and it's like, but I
Right.
can't get into my old thing because I can't remember the password. And
And
it's
then your security questions, you're thinking, I thought I knew where I was born, but I guess
I
not.
thought I knew my
Right.
first dog's name.
All right, we have a request for certificate of compliance, 3 Pingree Way, DP file 100-73.
Yep. This is ready to sign for a partial on a really old order, 100-73, really, really old. After a lot of back and forth with a title company and the attorney for one side or the other, and DEP, this is what we came up with. There were two other orders that came up on the title work, but I can't tie them to this property in any way.
Does that mean they're listed on the registry as attached to the property?
Well, I don't know. So this is number 3 Pingree Way. It's part of Bennett's Crossing subdivision. This is a lot that would never have had orders on it itself. It's kind of in the middle, in the donut hole. It's high and dry. There's but with the old orders, if you can't find the plan, you can't tell what the project was. I'm finding there's really no description. The title company gal was able to find a couple of plans that are not referenced in any of these 3 orders. So at least I had a plan of the whole subdivision, but this seems to satisfy everybody involved.
Okay. Anything else? Motion to approve the certificate?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Your train derailed the other
Oh
day.
my God, yeah.
Were you on that train, George?
I was telling George on the way home today. That was the car I was in. It was scary.
You bet.
Bizarre.
That's the one where the wheel came off?
Yeah. Yeah, the axle broke.
Axle.
And then the wheel came off, and then another wheel just derailed. So they call it an upright derailment.
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah,
What do they call it, what?
upright,
Oh, upright.
upright derailment.
Upright.
Which is a good way.
Yeah,
good thing.
If
yeah.
you're gonna
The
derail.
train did
Yeah.
not flip over.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was going fast too. It was, going top speed through that stretch. And then one of the old timers that I ride the train with pulled the emergency brake.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, wait, in the car?
Mm-hmm. That little lever
Right.
that's sort of in the front.
But it wouldn't have been done by the engineer at the front
I
of the
don't
train?
even know if they knew what was going on,
Probably did.
to tell you the truth.
I don't know.
Oh, so does that
It's-
break
Yeah.
the whole train?
I think
Yeah.
I'm not sure, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or sends some kind of
Oh,
signal
cool.
to the conductor up front.
In trouble back here?
Yeah. It's, yeah.
Wheels off.
Wheels off. Not feeling good here, people.
So what time do you get to work?
Well, I actually on time, which is pretty funny because they allowed people to get off right away. So people got off, either took Ubers or they walked down the track, which
Oh.
was very dangerous,
Yeah.
to the Belmont station. And then they caught wind of that and then disallowed people from getting off like half an hour later. So people who remained on the train ended up staying on the train for 2 hours, up to 2 hours, until another train came from Boston to,
Wow.
they departed and got
So
back home.
which option did you do?
I took an Uber.
Uber.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay, we have a continued public hearing, request for amendment to an order of conditions, 259 Woodland Way, Lot 142A, 100-0418. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, Steve?
Well, how's everybody tonight?
Good.
Joanne and I went through the draft order a couple of weeks ago, and everything seems to be in order.
few edits after 13 of them. Firing on all
You're on a
cylinders.
roll.
Oy. So this is ready to sign.
Okay, any questions or comments?
What were the, just, can you describe some of the edits?
Things like the assessor's parcel number, it was
Oh,
just.
okay, just minor things?
Yeah, yeah,
that's
really.
like-
yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yep,
Okay.
missing the change in plan on one of them, just, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, nothing.
Really administrative type things,
Okay.
nothing substantial.
Okay, okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, motion to sign the amendment and close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So while that's going around, did you receive the refund check for overpaying for the ad?
I did.
Okay. There was a lot of fluster.
In accounting?
Well, I think the amount that it should have been was like 117.11. But a check got written for 177.11. And it didn't get caught in several different places. But nothing was adding up, and yeah, so I'm glad.
Well, it's good that people are adding and subtracting and
Yes.
keeping track.
Yes, yes.
That's a good thing.
There's that 3 points of confirmation, right? Like,
Yeah.
check this number to that number, this number to that. Okay, when all those work, then it's,
Yeah, that's
the
good.
I had a
process is not
similar
an issue.
situation with the assessor's office last week regarding a submittal for the zoning board. I was seeking. I was
Oh, yeah,
preparing
we're
two-
going to talk about
preparing
that
two
too.
submittals, and each one needed to have a certified abutters list, so I sent $50, and they said, oh, there's only 2 abutters for each of them, so we only need $25. Okay. If the town's in a refund mood, keep it coming.
It's that time of the year.
Most wonderful.
Maybe you'll get your 110.
Maybe, maybe not.
Cold.
All right, we have a continued public hearing request for amendment to order of conditions, 237 Woodland Way, Lot 76A, 100-0417. Same thing,
Same thing.
same motion,
Oh. Motion to sign the
sign and close.
close, sign and
Yeah.
close?
Yeah. Any questions?
No.
So, is it a
So
motion?
moved.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So while that one is going around, I got the department head review form for the next lot, and,
I mean, for 219 Woodland Way?
yeah. And, well, I guess we'll wait till we get there.
Aren't we there? Oh, almost there. Okay. So much for thinking ahead.
I know, trying to keep everything moving here.
Okay, now we have a public hearing continuation, request for amendment to order of conditions 219 Woodland Way, Lot 75A, 100-0416.
So I have the order ready to go. And this week, I received department head review forms from Zoning Board of Appeals for this lot. And I am to provide comments on all of these things. So my comment on this is that we have an order of conditions on this lot, or we will in a few minutes. But I wanted to ask Steve, while he was in the neighborhood.
So this has to go before the zoning
It
board?
has to go before the zoning
Yeah.
board because the zoning district line split zones the lot. The northern half of the lot is zoned light industrial, and the southern half of the lot where the frontage is zoned residence A1. Now,
Is that the one down the?
With the driveway.
when the
that-
zoning
yeah.
line was established 45 years ago, a line was arbitrarily drawn 1,000 feet southerly and parallel to the railroad. And everything between that line and the railroad was light industrial, even though there were no roads or any way to get to it. And so about roughly 10 years ago, with the original configuration of Woodland Way, applications were made to the ZBA for use variances to allow a single-family house to cross this zoning district line that crisscrosses the lot, and the ZBA granted the variances. But since the lots have been reconfigured, the attorneys are telling us that the variances that were granted were particular for the previous lot configuration, so a new variance is needed from the ZBA. So it's a
Okay.
procedural issue.
So there are two,
There are two lots. There's
Two.
lots 74A and 75A. Now, 74A
We
wasn't
don't-
subject to an order.
we don't have
but
orders on
75A is.
all right. But what my question for you is, when I looked at this drawing of the outline of the house, it didn't really,
It doesn't match that
Right.
because, keep in mind,
this is our most impactful,
that's our most impactful
Right.
with respect to the wetland area.
right?
However, if you look at this, the wetland area is over here.
Right.
This is showing even more potential activity away from the wetland, but in the light industrial area.
Mm-hmm.
So from a zoning perspective, that's their concern. What we did with the Conservation Commission is, if you recall, we submitted up to 11 different house designs. This outline encompasses all 11 possibilities. And what the Conservation Commission has said is that you're approving the most impactful. If the potential buyer selects another design, we have to present it to you. If it is less impactful, it can be considered administratively by Joanne. If it's more
Right.
impactful, we have to come back for another amendment. But this way, we don't have to go back to the zoning board with another amendment because we're encompassing all the possibilities there.
I was trying, and I'll pass this around so you
Okay.
guys can look at it
Okay.
as compared to what we approved. I'm thinking, how? What is this? And that, of course, it's all 11 of them.
So yeah, so the zoning board is basically an amalgamation of all different.
Of all the different,
Okay.
because it needed to
And
show,
their concerns
it
are
needed to show the most
different.
impactful going into the light industrial area,
Yeah.
because that,
Right.
as a zoning board member, that's one of the things you'll be considering.
I did also think, wow, who would build a house that looks like that?
All the nooks and crannies.
And heaven help the foundation guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, really. Not.
Yeah. All right, that's
Yeah,
good.
that's-
Thank you. Yeah,
You want that back?
I do. Yep. That goes in here. This can go to Carly. And this is ready to go.
Okay, anything else? Motion to sign the amendment and close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So is that it for orders on Pingree Hill?
Oh, yeah, we
Oh.
should have done something.
Oh,
We should have signed
some-
fancier signatures.
Is that, really, this is it?
Well, there's going to be another lot submitted. Not immediately. There's a lot on Fox Run Drive. There were-
That corner lot?
There were two lots on Fox Run Drive that were not constructed because there had been a zoning board decision 10 years ago that stipulated that those two lots were to be offered to the town. and they were offered to the town, and town meeting chose not to accept them as gifts. And so earlier this year, the selectman and town manager prepared a document with the attorneys, with the town council and the attorneys for Pingree Hill, and acknowledging that the gift was offered, it was not accepted, and therefore it reverts back to the developers to be able to develop the lots. So they're now marketing those 2 lots, and I believe at least one of those lots will require an order of conditions.
Were you there for that public meeting? Do you know why the town didn't vote
Oh,
to?
I
Yeah,
believe
I
the
think-
issue at the time was,
accept.
the intent back about 10 years ago was that Habitat for Humanity was looking for properties, and the idea was floated by the Zoning Board of Appeals that one or both of these lots might be suitable for Habitat for Humanity to build on. But shortly after that, they selected a property on Central Avenue
Yeah.
instead.
Okay.
and I seem to remember, town meeting discussions were the usual things of, what does the town get out of this? Is it a usable lot? Are we just getting rid of tax revenue?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Where are these lots on Fox?
One of them is you go past the dog park
Uh-huh.
and turn left on Fox Run. It's that,
The first lot on the
First
left,
corner.
before the first house.
yeah.
Take
There is a
take a
drop
left,
off
take a left,
on
and it's
Fox Run. It's
Yeah.
your,
Left on the
It's on the
Snake Hill
corner?
onto Fox Run.
it's on that
It's on
corner.
the corner.
yeah, so here's the dog park, here's
Oh,
Fox Run.
That's
It's
right
right
there.
there.
Oh, okay.
Right next to the house where the person used to dump their Christmas trees into the wetlands.
And then at the very end of the cul-de-sac on the left, there's a vacant lot also.
Oh, I think that's kind of odd, because that lot, on the corner would kind of conjoins the lot that's owned by the town.
Actually,
Anyway.
that wasn't the town's at the time of that vote 10 years
Oh.
ago.
Okay.
The
So that
park lot.
preceded the larger lot being,
Yeah, because I think, isn't that larger
Transferred to
lot
the-
come from the EPA?
For the, yes, part of it did. It was all one big parcel, and then there was a settlement agreement with the planning board that required at least a 1-acre lot to be set aside, supposed to be for recreational fields, but it ended up being for the dog park. And the balance of that was what the EPA settlement ended up as a donation to the town through the Conservation Commission.
Right, and that's in between the dog park.
It's in between the dog park and this vacant lot.
Right,
hmm,
so that,
hmm.
at the time of town meeting 10 years ago, there
Yeah, it
wasn't
hadn't-
that connectivity.
Yeah, that hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is all the stormwater work in that area done?
Yes.
Okay.
The Snake Hill Road stormwater had been partially constructed, and then portions of it were not constructed pending what was going to happen between the playing fields or the dog park. And then I believe when the dog park came before you, they presented revised stormwater basins on the dog park property that are receiving drainage flow from the Snake Hill Road drainage system.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
We'll also have some certificates of compliance coming
Oh, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
coming over the next few months, and if we have barren ground, we'll be able to visit it. If we have snow cover, we'll have to wait till spring.
And what about when we did that review of sites a few weeks ago? We were back on, there's that stormwater basin that's too full to put in the,
9405?
Back on Woodland Way.
Oh,
yeah, wasn't there runoff and overtopping there? And then Deshang was saying,
Yeah, I've seen a couple of Deisheng's emails, but he would know best what's going on there between
Yeah, and
Deisheng and Luke Pyburn.
I met up there with them both this week, and we have pictures and plans brewing. The basins are just completely full. There's no more,
ground is completely full.
there's just no more place to put any more
It's-
water.
You look at some of the rivers and streams out there, and it's like spring mud season.
I know.
The level of the water is
I
very
know.
deep.
I know, I know,
I know.
I'm ready for a mudslide in my backyard. Honest God.
Yeah,
I slipped and part of the ground underneath me kind of slid
In
away.
your backyard?
Yeah, I was
Wow.
really kind of shocked.
Yeah,
Well,
just in the last 3 months, I think we're about
Yeah.
10 inches above normal in rainfall.
I think more than
Yeah.
that, actually.
yeah, it's, we're trying to come up with a winter stabilization plan that will get us through what usually happens in April at
Mm.
Pingree Hill. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it, just because,
Mother Nature is not cooperating.
Depends on
Well,
winter,
well,
yeah.
Talking
Yeah.
about another
Winter
inch or
season.
so of rain Saturday night
Yeah.
into Sunday.
You know,
yeah,
crazy.
well,
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Thank you very
Yep,
much.
thank you.
yep.
Thanks.
Thanks.
See you soon.
Yep.
Not too soon.
Not too soon.
Not too soon.
I noticed your agenda is a little bit lighter tonight. Hopefully you won't be here too late.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is a discussion, 231 Snake Hill Road.
Well, Gary Schimmel was supposed to be here tonight. He may still come.
Okay,
That is now on the market.
I talked to him about the concerns with where are you gonna put all this water? And he said he would come in and tell us what he was gonna do,
all right.
but I guess something came up.
So that house is on the market for something like 630.
Seriously?
Really?
Damn.
It's really nice inside. He's done a beautiful job. Just,
Hey folks, doing? I'm Jesse. I was emailing.
hi
Joanne.
Jesse, yes,
Nice
hey.
to meet you. Sorry for being late.
You're not too
No, I changed.
covered
I
with
didn't-
work fluid?
Yeah, I thought it would be appropriate if I changed. Yeah, being gross.
Jesse and I have been emailing back and forth. He
Is
is,
this for Snake Hill?
no,
Oh.
no,
Oh,
this
okay.
is a whole nother thing altogether. He's
You guys
come,
can finish up.
he's come to observe our meeting
Uh,
with interest in possibly being an associate member or something.
Okay,
He knows that we have a full commission. And he's been working in a deer checking station today. Yes.
Yeah, I have a very strong background in conservation, so I just recently moved to the town, trying to get my roots planted. So yeah, I was working a deer check this week, so I've been really busy. Hence why I would have been covered in fluids if I came. So. And that's, like I said, not something I wanted to be presented as. I'm also typically shaven, but once again, I've been working a lot.
Well, we're glad to have you.
I appreciate it.
You know, the zoning board had an alternate member for, in case somebody wasn't there, would be able to fill in.
yeah,
And you could ask Robert.
yeah. It's come up before in the past, though, remember?
But I think that was under a different town manager.
You can ask. Yeah, I mean, even if it's just an observer, you know.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah, why don't you talk to Robert about that?
How do you say your last name?
Caney.
Caney.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you spell that?
Caney.
Jesse, Jesse.
Correct.
Well, welcome to Ayer.
I appreciate it. I've enjoyed living here for the last 7 months.
7 months?
Yep. Yeah. I just moved. I used to live in California. I'm originally from Massachusetts, if you can't tell the accent, but I spent my last few years living in California and South Carolina, just doing work for the National Park Service, Forest Service, and U.S. Fish and Wildlife.
Cool. Mm.
Well, welcome back.
Oh.
Thanks.
All right, so. Our next item is discussion of the 2018 pond treatment report.
So we're done with 231 Snake Hill, because he's not here.
Yeah.
Who shows up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I edited this version, because
Okay.
there were some mistakes, some edits.
All right.
The new
Well,
version is on here, if you wanna, well, can you get
I don't know.
that on?
Let's see. I don't know. I think I have to take I don't know. Really? Let's,
Do you have
Shot.
your laptop with you? I did email you the newer version.
No, because we have a brand new computer in the office. Wait till you guys see. It's I feel like I've been chiseling clay tablets
Yeah,
for a year.
that's no good.
This new computer is just
Open now. Oh, good.
yeah. So the laptop is sitting on the shelf.
Do the V2 up at the top. Yeah.
This one.
Either I saved it under a different, just a PPTX is, I think that's gonna work. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay,
So I did print out the one you had sent. So
okay,
Has
yeah.
this been edited from that?
Yes, this is edited. Yep, okay. So at the last meeting, George had asked me to put together a quick summary of the pond treatments and a proposal for 2019. So, so I think, so what you'll see is a breakdown of this past year's pond treatment and the year before, because I think it's kind of nice to have the 2-year continuum information to make some sort of judgment calls. So I'll review this, and then I'll review some historical costs, which I pulled from a couple years ago, and then sort of a proposal to discuss moving forward. So in 2017, we spent $61,500. We treated 3 ponds: Pine Meadow, Flanagan, and Sandy. The approaches taken were pretty similar for the 3 ponds, except Flanagan, because it was worse off. They decided to do a whole pond treatment with liquid and pellet formulations of sonar. So that actually added quite a bit to the cost to do the whole pond treatment. And on the right, so this is just taking that information from their reports. I just kind of copied and pasted. And you can see the treatment date and the herbicide product used. So for Pine Meadow, they treated twice, once in June and then another time later on in the season in August. And then Flanagan got treated 3 times, once in May, June, and August, and then Sandy got treated in June and August. And in 2018, it was observed that, a lot of the growth had come back, and we decided to put in the stipulation that we wanted to achieve 95% control of target aquatic plant species. Target meaning nuisance aquatic plant species. We spent $38,947 with somewhat the same approach, except Flanagan was not treated in kind of the whole pond treatment regimen. It was more spot treated along with the other ponds. And the treatment dates, so the treatment schedules actually increased by 1 day for Flanagan. So you can see that in July they treated once, and then again for Sandy they treated once in July. So both Flanagan and Sandy ponds got treated 4 times, whereas Pine Meadow got treated twice. And so that was a little bit sort of more in excess than we typically have done in the past. So, if you combine 2017, 2018, that's a little more than $100,000, which is a lot of money. Yet, at the end of 2018, the ponds were in great shape. Like, everyone basically noticed and commented, and a lot of the non-invasive plant species came back. So, there was lots of plants, good plants for fish to hide amongst. But a lot of the a lot of the invasives basically are gone. Now, mind you, treatment like this doesn't get rid of those invasive species altogether. You know, they will come back. It takes time, as we all know. But I think we need to decide as a commission, you know, how we're going to move forward by maybe not spending as much money, yet maintaining a healthy pond system moving forward. So if you go to the next slide. So this was just a breakdown of the historical cost of the pond weed management over time. There were significant lapses where the ponds were not treated. So you can see in 2009, 2010, 2011, there was no treatment for those years, and there was a huge resurgence of invasives that needed treatment. So that you can see that 2012 and 13, 14, there was some treatment, and then another lapse in 2015 and 16, and then again, as I just showed, in 2017, 18, we treated, which seemed to kind of get at it. If you go to the next slide. So Dan over at DPW had sent me, so they're actually taking samples a couple times a year, which is really great. So I didn't want to show everything that he had sent. So what I decided is sort of take more of the summary of his mathematical compilation. So basically this is showing what's called TSI score. So this is trophic status index values, which indicate sort of the health or the state of pond water. So oligotrophic is considered kind of really clean, clear water, which is kind of more found in like sandy ponds that don't have a lot of growth in them, not a lot of plant growth. And those ponds tend not to have a lot of wildlife. Mesotropic are ponds that have more plant growth, a lot more wildlife, a lot more species. Eutropic is sort of when you get to that point where there's a lot of like phosphorus load, as you know, nitric load, or nitrate load. It tends to be like more algae forming. And you really don't want to get sort of to that point for any kind of long length of time, because those types of ponds morph into those hypertrophic ponds, which are sort of really hard to get at and treat. And that's when you get those algae blooms every year and a lot of fish kills, low oxygen levels, and it does happen. So
What was the first one? You said oligotrophic, mesotrophic. What was the next one?
Eutrophic.
EU?
EUTROPHIC. And so the colors denote those states. So what I did was I started with 2015, and then so these are all sort of around the same time period. August 2015, July 2016, August 2017, and then again in July 2018. And so what Dan did, which is nice, so this is all color coded, and you can see that we kind of go in and out of sort of oligotropic, mesotropic, and eutropic. But what was nice to see was in 2018, like after some treatment, we're sort of back to those oligotropic and mesotropic for High Meadow Pond, Flanagan Pond. Lower Lawn Pond has always been pretty healthy, and Sandy Pond has always been pretty healthy. And as you know, Balch Pond and Grove Pond are very shallow and have a lot of plant growth, and those ponds are not. We decided not to treat those ponds, so that was good to see. So the goal is to really maintain the ponds in the oligotrophic, mesotrophic states. So go to the next slide. And so as a proposal for 2019, I think we've shown that the wait and treat approach is really not a viable solution moving forward for pond invasive weed control. You know, those 3 to 4 year gaps of no treatment really allowed for resurgence, which, you know, as we all know, takes a lot of money to control down the road, you know, especially in Sandy and Flanagan ponds. And we don't really want, you know, to kind of incur these high costs, you know, for the town moving forward. So, you know, we want to take more of a management approach. So I think monitoring early in the season, and I think this would be continuous year after year, for invasive vegetation regrowth. And I think, and I just stuck these numbers up just based on some of the other numbers that I've seen. So I just sort of chose, like, if, you know, if we see more than 20% regrowth, you know, we would go in and manage with spot treatments, and not really spot treatment 4 times. I think that might be a little overkill, but maybe at least twice per year, maybe once early in the spring and once maybe midsummer. I mean, this is, and you know, we can kind of discuss it and debate it. And then Solitude actually recommended using Clipper for 2019, but
we can't.
We can't. I mean, due to its toxicity to aquatic organisms.
Yeah, you can't use it in an ACEC.
No.
I think they say to use it, and then they say, oh,
Yeah.
right, we can't use it.
Right. They
Yeah.
just kind of put it out there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So Clipper's just like a different herbicide name? Like as opposed to Reward or Aquapro?
Yeah, it's
another-
different.
okay.
It's a different chemical
Okay.
altogether.
Yeah, and we did
Yeah.
talk to somebody in the state last year who said, Clipper, absolutely not, they wouldn't approve.
Okay. Yeah.
Because of the
Yeah.
ACECs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
surprised they mentioned it again.
I know. So we just stick with the current herbicide products. And then, you know, just for budget purposes, you know, they, I didn't actually put their budget recommendation, but I think 25,000 was on the lower end. I mean, I think, you know, they're gonna want to do as much as they can do, right? Yeah, that's a business, right? But I think in terms of costs that would be associated with monitoring, and then the cost associated with just spot treatments a couple times a year, wouldn't be that costly. And if we do this every year, I think we can kind of get to a good management.
Yeah, stay ahead of it.
Yeah.
So who would do the monitoring?
Yeah, is that Solitude?
Yeah, they would do it. Yeah. Yeah, we would pay for them to do it early in the year, and then make a decision where they would spot treat.
Yeah.
But as you said, if we don't see 20%, we wouldn't do a spring treat. It'd basically
Right.
be whenever we get to that point.
Yeah,
So yeah, we might even not have to worry about spring,
Right.
which would be great.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't know how, you know, how fast. Yeah, I think it's gonna all depend on seasonal fluctuations. I mean, global warming probably might play a part in, like, water temperature, water depth, you know, how, you know, plants tend to grow in shallow water more than they grow in deep water, so it depends on the.
Right now, it's deep.
Yeah. So I think it's all dependent upon what we see early in the season. And we just go year to year.
So we would do monitoring in,
I think they usually in May.
yeah, but would we want it monitored at the end of the season then too? Because that would be a defining thing for
For the next following
planning
year.
budget, yeah.
Yeah, yep. Yep. Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, and if they treat, we are, you know, measure
Yeah.
their success.
Right.
So this table that they put in at the end, that kind of give an idea of the cost?
Mm-hmm.
it does indicate that monitoring is included in that cost, so that's good.
Yeah,
Monitor early and late season vegetation, so that's part of it. So that's, again, tied in, so that's,
yeah,
again, really good, right? So small,
Yeah.
small
Yeah,
amount for
yeah.
them to check it, and again, if it's, I
Yeah.
don't think it's at 20, then
right, right,
move on.
yeah, yeah.
Do we know when they did the treatment this year? Were it basically beyond that 20%, like for the, when they did the applications, right?
Oh, yeah.
At different,
Yes,
okay.
it was way way above
Okay.
20%. It was probably like
So in June, Pine Meadow, yeah,
90,
it's,
yeah.
okay, all right.
100%, yeah. yeah.
And was it each time we kind of looked at that? I mean, I don't think the 20% was probably applied at that time.
I think it's hard because there are so many gaps, you
Okay.
know, that where the ponds were not treated.
Well, I'm saying
oh.
last year where it went from, so Pine Meadow was
Oh,
looked
yeah.
at in June, they applied reward, right? And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
in August,
Yeah.
by that time, is it safe to say that, okay, we were at or beyond 20% again at that time? And so, okay, let's do Aqua Pro, or was that merely just for a different type of?
Aqua Pros mainly
It's
for the
for-
lily pads.
Yeah, the lily pads,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Which is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, that was late,
Different.
yeah,
okay. So
Yeah, I think-
actually, looking at Flanagan,
yeah.
they did a May 11th with Sonar 1, they did June with Sonar 1, and then July, August, or July again with Sonar 1.
Right.
So that was all trying to hit the same thing,
Yeah,
potentially? right?
Yeah.
The 95%.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think lily pads, so here's one issue too, is that, you know, the more they treat, the more the dead vegetation will settle to the bottom and create, you know, a deeper muck level, right? So that will, over time, create, you know, more shallow area, right?
Right.
So lily pads grow really well in those shallow areas. You know, lily pads are not invasive, they're native. Fish like to hide in them.
Right, right.
Frogs love them, different aquatic, I mean, you know,
Dragon
I
flies.
did notice this year before they did the Aqua Pro treatment,
mm,
you know, a lot of parts of the shoreline of Sandy Pond, particularly going over the bridge on Snake Hill,
uh-huh,
and beyond that, were much thicker lily pad.
mm.
And people swim there, so that's
Yeah,
part of the issue there.
right, right. Right, but Flanagan, nobody swims in, so
Right.
it's more for fishing and just kayaking
And
and
boating.
enjoying it, you know.
So I think
Yeah.
our goal with that wasn't the 95% per se, but more controlling, you,
Kind of areas.
Fitting.
Fitting, yeah, yeah,
isn't that true?
yeah,
Raj?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
yeah.
And so then 2015 and 16 was pretty dry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hence, like you said, that would help push the lily pad growth, right?
Yep, yep.
17 was still dry.
Was 16 the big drought?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, because that's when I moved in and my lawn died.
Yeah.
I wasn't watering anything.
Yeah.
Welcome to Ayer.
Yeah. And then last
Yeah.
year wasn't that much better.
Yes, 2017 was very dry too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know DPW slapped on a water ban pretty early in the season. Yeah. So,
I mean, based on the numbers that they have here in the report, right? I mean, their range is basically is low side across everything, 22 and a half to 32 and a half, like you said.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and if you're saying about 20-ish,
yeah,
I think it might be a little higher.
yeah, it's good.
Should we maybe ask for 25?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you can't
just
go
to
back,
kinda
you
keep-
can't
Go
keep
back.
adding.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
And then
Do we have any left over?
the chemicals, or the budget.
Budget?
I don't think I got the weed treatment budget numbers from Lisa.
Okay.
Uh,
We can check that.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't have that. I would be surprised if we did, though. I think we spent what we had to spend, or what was available to spend.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But there might be some that's been rolling forward, been carried forward because it was appropriated differently. I'll check into that.
Yeah. You know, it kind of be nice to know what we can do a year. I mean, if we have to go to town meeting to, you know, to ask for money every year.
Mhm.
Tried that.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, and we did try to,
Goes back to accounting.
yeah,
yep.
yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Or we just sort of every year, we kind of do the monitoring, we decide what we might need for the following year based on current pricing and past experience.
town meeting does seem very amenable to providing weed control money.
Well, particularly if we show, you know, that the cost is starting to go down.
Yes.
By doing the maintenance.
Right.
Right,
Um,
right.
Yeah, and having this graph is great. It's, if you keep it
Yeah.
up, it costs less over time. When you
Yep.
don't do it at all, you're back to square
Back to
one.
Square one, right,
Yep.
right.
I mean, it's definitely a function of weather, but
Yeah.
I think we can manage it better,
Mhm.
like you said, if we sort of stay ahead of it.
Yep.
Right,
You know.
right.
No, this is great. And actually, what I was gonna say is, it says 20 in this one, but you actually put 25
I
on
know,
the latest one, so
jacked it up.
we're good to
yeah.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
And the other thing is, I didn't put it in this, but, you know, maybe as a conversation as we move forward is, you know, possibly, you know, in addition to, you know, chemical treatment, you know, would there be a possibility of, you know, maybe raking some areas to, you know, get rid of all that dead organic matter, pulling, you know, hand pulling, you know, I don't know, you know, it's a lot of work, but, you know, it's been done. They do it in the Nashua River all the time.
Yeah,
You know?
seems like if you get the control down to a certain level, you should be able to go in and get that last little bit
Yeah,
by hand.
yeah.
And that wouldn't, as long as you didn't go into the soil, that wouldn't be dredging.
I think you can pull a plant up.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
roots, pull the roots up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And that's-
raking as well.
Well, you'd probably need
Mm,
a different kind of permit for
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
What does our order of conditions say?
Which we do have to renew, which probably will be before Solitude gets another contract.
they've been very good in the past about knowing
Yeah.
when things are gonna lapse.
But this might be, I think it's, I have it down, I think it's February or March.
Okay. Well,
Which might be in that, it might be in a little donut hole before they
yeah.
have
Yep.
a roll again.
Yeah.
Mm.
What was your question?
We had several methods listed in the order of conditions that we could apply. So we'll have to check, see what we have allowed.
In the Solitude report, table 3, they reference it as in terms of a budget for 2019, but yet at the top it says 2018 management actions. Is it supposed to say 2019, like this would be our proposal for 2019 management actions, or are they actually saying this is what we did in 2018? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's what they did in 2018.
Okay, so they're saying similar to this would cost this. Can we get a confirmation that this is truly what they would charge us potentially in 2019 dollars?
Is that, do they have another table?
Well, it
No,
says-
they said,
There's 2019 reference table 3, which is this,
Oh.
but then that says 18. So that's why I'm just wondering.
I think that's a typo on their part.
I'm hoping that it is, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is a typo. You're right. Yeah. Huh.
I'm just wondering if these are the kind of dollars we're looking at, or would there be a 2 or 3% increase for inflation kind of thing, right?
Right.
Just
Right.
wondering.
Last
Right.
year, this was, I think when we did it last year, this last page were the figures for the following year, which was this past year.
Okay.
So I think I'm pretty confident that's what they're
Can we just get confirmation?
Oh, yeah.
That's something
Kind
to
of
make a
same
vote.
Yep.
But
layout, yeah.
should we ask for, like they say, more definitive, detailed costs based on the town's goal? Should we ask for an estimate based on Bonnie's?
Wouldn't hurt. Yeah.
Which should include monitoring in the spring and then
Yep.
monitoring
In the
in the
fall.
fall. So that,
Yep, yep. And then if, they monitor
Yeah.
and observe.
Do you
Some-
think it would be worthwhile having them come into a meeting so we could
Yeah,
yeah,
talk to them
Yeah.
and ask them questions? And
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's probably a
Yeah.
lot more direct.
Yeah.
I mean, they work in the field,
Yep.
and it would be nice to know what they think, what they would, kind of observe, or what they think would happen in, the following years, right?
Yeah.
And where are they from?
Shrewsbury. Shoes.
Oh, Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury. Yep.
Shrewsbury.
Yep.
It used to be called Aquatic Control Technologies, which was,
Mhm.
state thing, but then, and there was another company,
Lycott.
Lycott Environmental.
Yeah, Lycott,
Those
yeah.
were the two, but then they both got eaten up by Solitude, which is a national
Yeah.
company, so.
Okay, good.
So having them come in would be great.
Yeah.
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 And then they could come up with a new proposal based on that discussion.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is probably a good time of year for them to come out to a meeting since
Mm-hmm.
there's ice. Not much else going on. Yep.
Yeah, the report says that they indicated, up to 90%
Yeah.
control wherever it was.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice anywhere where it
Yeah.
actually said, upon monitoring, we noticed 40% growth, let's say, right? To again,
Yeah.
to go by
to get
Bonnie's
that
20%
number.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it'd be key for them to say,
Yeah.
give us that proposal, okay, if we see 20%,
Yeah.
do you think that's the time to treat, or might it be,
Yeah.
do we wait to 40%, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Or
Just
it's
kinda
too
give an
late when it's
idea.
40%. It might
Yeah.
be, then the
Right.
cost will go up. Right?
Exactly, right.
Substantially, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, because I think Bonnie's proposal is awesome, and I think if we can get them to give us a quote,
Right.
that's
Yeah. Reasonable.
good for 6 to 9 months or something like that.
Right.
Plus, don't we have to establish what the baseline is from which the 20%
Mm-hmm.
is established
So I think
Like
the baseline
spring.
is where we ended the end of
in the
this
fall?
this
then?
fall, this past
Okay.
fall, right? That's our new baseline.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were saying they achieved, well, it said 90% here, although you've got
Yes.
up here that it was 95%.
Yeah,
So what we saw at that time
We asked for 90.
That's
and-
considered
and-
5%. then,
Yeah,
right?
they came back at 95, which are
Okay.
like, we did a great job, right? We got an extra 5%.
So then I guess the only other question is, does this actually need to be competitively bid? I mean, are we supposed to really look to other people? Because,
Oh, gosh, we've been down that path.
That's a good question.
We
And-
have.
Yes.
We
And-
didn't have to this last year, did we?
No, because we changed to a town manager form of government and the procurement rules are different. So up to $50,000, I think,
Yeah.
Robert can sign a contract as long as we've made a good faith effort to get other estimates.
Mhm.
And I really made a very good faith effort and came up with nothing.
Because there's
Okay.
nobody else around.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
when
then
we-
he'll
they-
basically
they-
approve a sole sourcing for the most part?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And when we had other times gotten some other proposals, like there used to be a group out in Amherst, and,
Mhm.
and they were like $40,000-$50,000 more.
Right, right.
Just for travel time, I would assume.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so any of the other proposals we've had have never been as
Well,
cost
there was
effective.
that one, now I'm remembering, from last year from Connecticut,
Connecticut.
who said, we're gonna pass this year, but next year we'll be in the mix.
Well,
And the other thing we talked about with Robert at that meeting was the possibility of a multi-year contract.
mhm.
Right.
If we can get this down to a maintenance
Yep.
kind of
Right,
level.
right.
And then the difficulty there with a multi-year contract, though, is how can you guarantee being able to live up to our end of the contract if town meeting could change its financial support from year to year, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And we don't have a.
Yeah, because it's an annual budget
Well,
this year.
yeah.
Right, and so that's the argument for getting it out of town meeting and just getting it in the
Omni.
omnibus.
Well, that's still in town meeting, though. I mean, that's still, I mean, town meeting can X out that
I mean,
anyways.
well, they could,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was done once with the planning board person, so.
Ah.
Anything in the omnibus is not
Safe.
Solid.
safe either.
Is that- Okay.
This is town meeting government.
Yep, thank goodness.
So going back with the Connecticut Group
Mhm.
Company,
Mm.
so could we send both Solitude and the Connecticut Company something that kind of paraphrases Bonnie's request and just see where they both come up with? Who knows? Like
Well,
I said,
we-
maybe they'll still bow out, but
We had put in created a request for quote.
Yeah. The general request for quote that we sent originally, right?
Right,
Yeah.
that had some parameters in it.
right.
Right,
Um,
what we're looking for. I think
Yep.
that was, the 90% control
Yep.
and,
Yep.
and monitoring and,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a pretty specific RFQ
yeah.
that went out.
And if we do that, we have to advertise it, I assume?
It goes out on the Combis system. There's kind of a statewide, here are all the RFPs, RFQs,
Okay.
and it gets, so
Did we
that's,
even get anything other than Solitude last year? Because we did put it out, but I don't think we did get anything else.
Mm.
oh, not from, no, we didn't.
Yeah.
Was
But
the
she
year
said, they
before.
said, not this year, but
Right,
definitely next year, so.
Yeah,
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is it an email? Yeah, it's worth it. You never know.
Or would they be ever interested in also coming and talking to us, finding out and brainstorming what we're,
mhm,
Mhm.
if they wanted to be considered in the mix?
yep. And I think I had sent them, I must have sent the few that I could find, the previous year's final report, so that they knew
Yeah.
they had some
Kind of-
baseline.
Yeah, yep, yep. Expectation.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, good.
Awesome.
Good,
think
thanks.
I think
You're
Bonnie should
welcome.
have to do
Yeah.
these reports for some reason.
Well, you know what's going
Well,
to be
did-
really fun is to take that 1998 data that I found.
I did read through that, yeah.
Yeah,
And
and-
add that.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
know. I almost had time to do it, but then with the train thing, and then I got to work and a colleague of mine quit that
Yes.
day, and I'm like, ah.
Well, I sent that data to Dan too.
Oh, good.
And so
Good, good,
maybe
good.
he can
Yeah, include it, right.
put it in this, and he
Yeah.
wanted to know where their testing points were.
Uh-huh.
So then I just sent him the whole report.
Oh, good.
I
Okay.
just sent him the data. I said, well, here you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, one more thing, and before we move on, is, and you may know this, Jesse, Fish and Game has like a, kind of a, they call it, what do they call it? Something scientist, like citizen scientists.
There's a citizen scientist program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, program, right.
So that's the
Yeah.
Department of Fisheries and Wildlife. who I
Oh,
work for.
okay, cool. Well, there was a gentleman who came and took water samples in August out of Pine Meadow, like right prior to treatment, and came back right after treatment. And he wanted to do a comparison of what was there, pre and post pond treatment. And I asked him, so, is there a place where I can find this information? He's like, oh yeah, just look on the website. But I looked and I couldn't find it, so.
So it depends on how you uploaded it or if you actually did upload it.
Yeah.
There is a way that you could track it if you did, because there is a website for citizen scientists to do that, because there are individuals who are interested in these type of things.
Cool.
And I do have a background in aquatic biology as well. So what you would want to do is, I could actually show you, give you the link at some other point, is tell you how to figure out where that data is.
Uh-huh.
Do you have that gentleman's name by any chance?
No.
So that'd be another thing. Always having their name is very important, just in
Mhm.
case. I know sometimes the program, like we also use a program that's called VPRS,
Uh-huh.
where if you find an endangered species, you can upload it in there, take a picture, and then we can come out and identify it as well.
Uh-huh.
Put a drop point there, figure out, is that actually habitat? So sometimes those programs aren't always working, so they don't always function. They're down, servers are down. So there is a chance that you didn't actually upload it. If
Uh-huh.
you did upload it, then it is on the main web, and Fish and Game does have that
Oh, cool.
information on the thing.
Cool.
And you could get that information. It is all public for
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, that would be
And
great.
It is good to have that on that bipartisan viewpoint.
Right,
Because
right.
a company that's coming out, identifying invasives and then spraying on their own and saying, oh yeah, we've gotten 95% of them. Because you're never going to control invasive plants. I saw you had a variable milfoil fan wort there. I do a lot of work on Sandy Pond with abandoned geese, ducks, and you have a high kayak use in there.
Yep.
So there's other ways that you can mitigate these problems. Definitely spraying them is kind of the biggest thing. You can't really pull those plants. The plants that you do pull in the Nashua River, which I've been a part of, is
Yep.
like water chestnut.
Yep.
That's something that floats on the top.
Yep.
You can pull that. It's that
Yep.
spiny stuff that's really annoying.
Really nasty.
But
Yep.
milfoil and all that, that's rooted deep in the soil.
Yeah.
You can't really get in there and pull that. You're in, 3 to 4 feet of water.
Right,
These plants
right.
typically don't grow deeper than 5 feet, but that's just a real tedious task to deal with. And like
Yeah.
you said, when they kill that, it does settle, and you have that detritus material. If you go up there and rough all that up, what that could actually do is either change your lake, because what you want is that mesotrophic type of layering.
Yep.
If you were to look at like a pond layer, you can kind of see that it's stratified. If you were to lift all that up, that upwelling
Uh-huh.
is what's a big problem with fish kills.
Uh-huh.
So what that does is that uplifts and kind of kills the fish as well. So if
Uh-huh.
you were to come in there with a machine and kind of do that, that's a big pain for those fish kills.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, and I digress with all that, but
Yeah,
you
no,
can
no,
get-
it's
you
good.
can definitely get all
Yeah.
that data
Yeah.
online, and that's good to have that bipartisan view to see if that, if that company actually is doing what they're supposed to do. Because like I said, I work in the whole state, sometimes some companies aren't always the best, but I give people the benefit of the doubt all the time. So,
Yeah, no, it's great information. Thank you.
it is
Yeah.
hard to,
Yeah.
it's very hard to control invasives. It's pretty much, like you said, it's a management strategy. So it is finding, what your town is comfortable with. Like if you're comfortable with the 20%, which I think is great, and keeping it at that level and finding that trigger point to where they're gonna do another application is extremely important.
Yeah.
Because it's a battle. You're never gonna win it.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got migrating species, you've got people with kayaks and boats.
Right, right.
They carry anything between their feathers, inside their feet, or on the bottom of their kayaks.
Yeah, yeah.
And then one plant in there, and all of a sudden, those are very opportunistic plants.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're very prolific invasive species.
Right, right.
They can just take right off.
Yeah,
I've seen ponds that, 1 year didn't have anything, and then all of a sudden, all covered with Eurasian milfoil, which is a different species of the
Yeah.
milfoil.
yeah, yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's a battle. It's a
Yeah,
tough battle to
yeah.
be in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. And
it's
then,
hard.
yeah, and then I just learned that Phragmites, right,
Yep.
is now considered okay because it removes carbon dioxide
Yeah.
out of the air.
So there's some there are some species that are labeled as invasive, which are okay. Like so, there's an invasive pond lily, which is out here, which is called yellow pond lily, but it doesn't really do anything that's too detrimental. And like I said, it's great fish habitat. Just like the Phragmites, they do have that accessory, or what I'd like to call an auxiliary function, which is they're pulling that carbon dioxide. So, I mean, it's kind of in the world we're living in. You kind of have to deal with that invasive species isn't too bad,
Yeah.
so we can kind of work with it.
Yeah.
Or this one's really bad, like milfoil.
Yeah.
We have to try to figure out how to,
Yeah.
combat that one.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's a battle, and it's kind of a check and balance system, and it's always dynamic.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever static.
oh, definitely, yeah,
If
yeah.
you do the mechanical, can you like spot mechanical, or do you pretty much like room that
It's just
area?
that one area you'd be grooming, because if you were to
Okay.
do the whole thing, like I said, you would upwell all that detritus material,
Mm.
and that would
Yeah.
cause a low oxygen, like really low oxygen area,
Right,
which
right.
would push it back to that oligotrophic section. And
Yeah.
like I said, that would cause a lot of problems because it would kill the fish.
Right,
And
right.
most of the fish kills I go to are because of that reason. There's either that seasonal upwelling, which
Yeah.
you'll see when the ice melts.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
cold, it pushes down, and
Yeah.
then it rises back up.
Yeah.
That's kind of that
Yeah.
Okay.
reason for that. And it's really hard. I'm not too sure how they would do a mechanical removal of those plants. I know they do mechanical removal of the chestnut as well.
Mm.
I think you would need some sort of a rake, but like you said, there's that dredging clause that you'd have to trying to finagle around.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a real tough battle,
Yeah.
is what it really is.
Plus, some of them with mechanical raking, I'm not sure which of the species this applies to, but if you break things into fragments, then
Yeah.
you've got the source of
Springy,
the apprentice.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one invasive plant's now turned into
Yeah, exactly. You
Thousands,
open up
yeah.
an area,
Yeah.
that substrate that
Yeah.
was there is now going to become a perfect substrate
Yeah.
for something to invade
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
So that's why it's such a hard thing
Yeah.
to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could like shock the pond, stop all the geese, stop people from coming in, then you would have a perfect pond. But that's not an acceptable scenario, and it's not really ever going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can get down to that 20% trigger point, but like I said, with kayakers, swimmers, fishermen, ducks, geese, migrating species, you're always going to have that risk from them coming from other areas and bringing in those plants.
Yeah.
DCR has a really cool sign that they put up in some areas. That's, it's huge letters, Stop Aquatic Hitchhikers. And it identifies, I think Eurasian milfoil, fanwort, variable milfoil, and a couple other zebra mussel, Asian fingernail clams. And I think having those in those areas is really cool just to let other people know.
Yeah.
I deal with fishermen pretty frequently during the spring and summer season when I work on my fisheries work. And a lot of them don't understand that there are invasive species that would hitch a ride on their kayaks, hitch a ride on their motors, and definitely help
Yeah.
reinvigorate those areas and cause a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So public knowledge is very
Something-
important, I think, in this.
Yeah. We can shoot for-
Citizen scientist also.
Yeah, yeah, no, we
I
should
love that
shoot for
program.
that, yeah.
It
Yeah.
helps me out with my data all the time.
Yeah.
Plus
Cool.
these roaming hordes of common mergansers that are migrating through.
And beavers, which go from one pond to the other
Yeah,
and
exactly.
back.
And
Anything that transports
dragging
these-
plants
Dragging
with
plant
them.
material with
wipe their
them.
feet, right?
Yeah, they're very rude.
All right. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll continue this next time.
I'm glad that worked.
So Gary's here. Gary Schimmel, 231 Snake Hill Road.
Come on down.
So Joanne asked me to come and talk to you guys just about 231 Snake Hill, where it's going, and questions I guess you might have for me, or
What are you gonna do with all that water?
what am I doing with all that water? So,
I don't have any pictures relative to this.
No, we were there.
Yep.
We all saw it.
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
so I've got it under
Yeah.
control at this point, now that I have the beach in, and it's got an outlet. Prior to that, we had that berm that was straight across the whole place, and it's been a crazy season for rain.
Yep.
So I've been there at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, just listening to the rain. I gotta get over there because I got skylights really bad, and I'm thinking about that. So I've been able to witness everything that's been going on through almost every storm. So
Good.
at this point, I haven't had any problems since I relieved the berm and have that walkway and the beach has been put in. The only other thing I can suggest might help out is maybe having some outlets throughout the berm when the grass is established, just to let it naturally flow out. But right now, I haven't had any problems as there.
But the sump pump keeps running? Has had?
Right now, it's running pretty steadily.
Right,
It didn't run like that throughout the summer. When the storms came in,
yeah.
it ran until it caught up, and then it
So
would stop.
even with the beach in, when we've had all this rain, the sump is running?
Currently, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So aren't we looking for a solution for how that sump would run in the future?
Just
In
where the
weather-
outlet would go.
Yeah,
Yeah, so underneath that deck, there's about 2 feet of stone. And my experience, or just knowing the soils there, what is kind of good and bad, it's really dense clay soils. So it doesn't just purge through the sand and go back into the groundwater that way. It just kind of builds up. And now it's falling to stone and leading its way out. So that's helped. Other than that, I'm going to sump pump the basement when it needs to be. It's because I was just going to disperse it into the stone, which seems to be working. And I don't know how much more the weather is going to change with the amount of rain we're getting, but I think I went through a pretty big test this summer.
Yeah.
The level
I've
of the
never
pond is so
seen-
high.
yeah.
Are you gonna put gutters on the back
Yeah.
of the house?
Yep.
And then the gutter will drain off that back right-hand side?
Yeah.
Is there gonna be a rain garden in there?
So I at first put a rain garden in, I dug it out, and then the volume of water I was receiving there, it wouldn't handle it.
Okay,
So it
It would
would,
basically just a pond.
yeah, it would just overflow, and it
okay.
would have been,
Yeah, would inundate the rest of your back.
Yeah.
yard, Yeah.
So right now, I'm very confident
Yeah.
what I've been doing there, what I've seen, and what I've been able to do with the stone has worked.
But that 2 feet of stone goes right up against the foundation, correct?
Yep.
So you're taking what's catching in your French drain,
Mhm.
pumping it into the stone,
Mhm.
which is going right against the foundation, going back to
So
the French drain.
back to the soil issue. It's
Yeah.
really crappy soils back there, so
Right.
it's kind of taking the easiest path out, which is the stone leading towards the walkway out to the sand.
Is it down gradient?
Yep.
Trying to,
Yeah.
so looking at the back of the house.
Yep.
Deck, stone underneath, and walkway over here,
Yep.
on the left. Is that something you changed? I guess maybe I didn't notice that when we were there.
No, it's all stone goes right up to it, and there's stone along the edge, and there's stone underneath it. Obviously, I put a base underneath it,
Okay.
so.
And that's, and so then you're saying it's draining from underneath the walk to the pond, essentially?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Into the sand of the beach, okay.
Mhm.
I see.
Yep.
Yeah.
So is the water that's in the sump, is that coming from the street and draining?
I'm assuming, because
Is that what you're thinking?
that's what I'm thinking. Underneath this foundation, there's,
That might help, Mark.
yeah, so basically, yeah, this shows, I think, the patio, so that just a little bit over, but yeah, it kind of heads out. This is all stone. This patio's more over here. I got this whole place stoned.
Yeah.
And the walkway's more like over this side. It goes just a little beyond the house.
Okay.
And everything follows this way and goes out this way. And heads out. So I shot the pond today. And,
Oh, good.
Yeah, I did. So the elevation that's on the plan, or like an inch lower than what the 226.2, it's right around 226.
Yeah, yep.
Bringing it back into the house, I couldn't get my stick, so all I did was just lowered it and measured. So it's 9 inches, top of concrete's 9 inches higher currently than top of water. The sump
Okay.
currently is 7 inches below
That's good.
top of concrete.
Say it again?
So 9 inches from top of water to top of, inside the house, the foundation, or the basement floor,
Yep.
is 9 inches difference higher.
Yeah.
And going to the sump, the water level's 7 inches below the top of concrete.
So it's 2 inches above the pond. Am I
The water-
doing,
The water level.
In the
It's 2
sump.
inches above the pond, in the sump.
is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
And that sump is how deep?
It's 24-inch deep sump.
So it's well below. level
Wait,
of the pond.
2 inches
Yeah.
higher than the pond level or 2 inches lower than the pond level?
Lower.
2 inches.
Yeah, so at its current height, then the
No,
bottom
no,
of
I'm,
the sump is-
I'm still 7 inches above top of water. So, right, am I doing this right? So if I'm 9 inches above, it's
At the
down
floor.
7 and 7, yeah, no, you're right, yeah, 2 inches, sorry. Yep.
Well, and the pond, how much beach do you have right now, Jess?
I was looking today, it's, the water level's really high
Really
even with the
high.
boards out of the dam
Yeah.
right now. Just
Yeah.
been a little bit of precipitation.
Just a little, few sprinkles.
Yeah, it's draining my way. Keep it over your way, if you don't mind. That's supposed to come my way.
Are you in the pond as well?
No, I'm down behind the red schoolhouse and it's coming over that way.
Oh, is
So
that what you
just-
said?
Everything flowing.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I was, talking to Joanne earlier, it was good that, I mean, obviously you guys didn't want me to build, but it was good. I got to build for myself personally, but this was a great season to go through this.
Yeah.
Hard season, but it was good as far as my responsibility for the property. So.
Well, and you have been super responsible and responsive, and we really couldn't ask for for a better relationship here, so.
Jess sees me there all the time. She's always driving by. Yeah, wave.
It's
Yeah.
too,
Well-
too bad you didn't get the lawn hydro-seeded about 3 weeks
I
earlier.
know, believe me. Everybody's, yeah, I know.
It
That was
it
a
looked
thorn.
like it might be a longer fall, but
Yeah.
But you know what, it did,
Yeah, well, we almost were
it
there.
didn't start growing, but it did establish it, or it held in the soils, nothing washed
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was a,
Kind of
that was a win-win
kept
for
it in
me.
place, yeah.
Well, what do you think about another kind of relief place through the berm?
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that.
You just,
I think it might be.
It just needs, yeah, just a
Yeah,
little,
it needs somewhere to go.
Yep.
And, and it's all just naturalized vegetation on the pond side of the berm.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't really be an erosion problem.
I don't think so. It'll certainly relieve a lot of the
yeah.
extra water coming from, if you're looking at it from the pond up to the right side of the garage, it's gonna be coming down.
Right.
It heads that way.
just- yeah.
Divert that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, through and out.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the
Yeah.
idea of the berm, you guys wanted to make
People-
sure no one to go
people
there.
out,
And then,
right.
not even thinking about how much rain we were gonna get, and
Yeah.
what it actually happened was it caused a big dam,
Right, right.
and the water had nowhere to relieve to,
Yep,
Right.
yeah.
so.
Yeah. Okay.
just one, or have Joanne just, you
Yeah, whatever Joanne feels is.
Okay, good, we'll
Cool.
figure it out together.
Awesome.
So is it gonna be like at grade or below grade? What are we talking? Like below the, like you won't see it? It's gonna be a pipe of sorts or just,
No,
just
so-
a relief in the
Well,
berm?
Yeah, I think just a relief from the berm is all we need.
Yeah.
Just somewhere,
And-
an outlet,
Right,
not a
and
pipe
if
or
we have to
anything,
line it with
natural.
stone,
Yeah, I can
or
do that,
we'll,
yeah.
you know, we'll figure out the,
Okay.
Yeah, like a riprap type of,
or something, yeah.
yeah.
Something attractive but functional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. All right,
Anything else?
Okay.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I was-
Yeah.
Yeah,
thanks,
I
I'll,
want to participate in this, so,
So you,
I
we're
want-
good.
Thanks.
cool. All right, well, you guys have a nice
Oh, you
evening.
will do.
his
Stay there.
kids want him to move, they want to move in, right?
Yeah.
Did they invite you, or they just want to move in?
They just, yeah.
Okay.
They bring the fishing rods and, Dad, gotta keep this. Love to keep them all, son, but.
Yep,
After college,
yep.
We're gonna sell it. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, I'll
See ya.
call you next week.
You bet.
All right, next, 0 Snake Hill Road, fishing and boating access.
0 Snake Hill Road, fishing and boating access. I had the best time. Let's catch up. Where are we? Oh, never mind. Fishing and boating access. I had the greatest time yesterday with Doug Cameron, who's the Assistant Director of Fishing and Boating Access for Mass Fish and Game. His office is in Westboro, and he has a budget to help develop fishing and boating access in many different forms. It's not always just a dock. Sometimes it's a floating fishing platform. I had no idea. So I took him over to our proposed site at 0 Snake Hill Road, and he didn't say no. He said he has a lot of latitude in developing these projects. He doesn't have a checklist. You've got to, meet this before we can move on to that. The one thing that might be an issue is that a private person owns the bottom of Flanagan's Pond over there. I talked to Tom, the assessor, today. We pulled up the deed. He's paying a tax bill on 30 acres of pond bottom.
Just one of those properties that extends into the pond?
No,
It's
no.
it's a separate parcel
It's a separate parcel.
in the pond.
In the pond.
The whole-
Yep.
Really?
Not the whole pond, just 30 acres of the pond.
And it happens to be
Right
where
there.
we're looking.
Yep, yep.
What's it assessed for?
Like $28,000.
Wow.
Wow.
I know.
For land underwater.
For land underwater. So he has a printed list that considers, Doug has a printed list that considers Flanagan Pond, because of the hydrologic connection with Sandy Pond, as an expanded Great Pond. Therefore, deserving of public access. And, but great ponds are usually owned by the Commonwealth.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has legal people, he tells me, who could sort this out. So we walked on Zero Snake Hill Road. We walked over the causeway. The water is just, it looks like the tide is going out under the road there. There's so much water moving out.
Wow.
So he looked at the areas of erosion on either side of the road that are being caused by fishing pressure. And
Fishing pressure?
Fishing.
Fishing.
From people?
From
Yeah.
Access,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, walking and
Yep.
being,
Um,
yeah.
And he said, "Wow, there are a lot of people who want to come fishing here. We should really see if we can make this an easier, safer thing for them to do."
Then off the road.
Yeah. So then I took him over to the backside of Sandy Pond to show him all the ways going down. And at this point, the poor man's jaw is like on his knees. He's just, this is amazing. This is such a resource, and yet you can't get there from here. So then we went over to Peroni Park, and I showed him that little kayak launching place. He said, "Oh, we could develop something really great here for you." I said, "Yeah, except there's only about 3 weeks when you can actually see the water here." Then we went over to Balch Pond Dam, and that's really exciting right now because there's just water all over the place. So he came away not having had any idea that Ayer had so many water resources. He said, "I've been to Ayer hundreds of times. I never had any idea you guys had so much water." Well,
A lot more this year.
they should have named it water instead of air. So he's a very flexible and creative thinker, and he's going to help us figure this out. So the way this program works, and Jesse, you probably know all about this too. The state would enter into a land management agreement with the town, which basically says the state will provide all construction costs and maintenance going forward.
Wait a minute, speak a little slower.
All maintenance costs
All maintenance cost.
going forward.
And what, anything in the beginning, was there, did they provide?
All the construction costs, yeah. In exchange for local oversight of parking. So he thought developing some parking at Zero Snake Hill Road for boating access there would be ideal. If the boating access can't happen there, having parking for boats only at Zero Snake Hill Road with possible car top boating access off Wright Road somehow. So someone would drive around, leave their kayak, come back and park, and then walk back to their boat. He thought that was a reasonable thing to do.
Right road, one of the ways, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
Then
talked.
you have to figure out where there's public access on those.
Right, and I talked to Jeff Thomas today, Parks Director, who said years ago he tried to figure out, because there is one that's not necessarily a way, it's an easement,
Mm-hmm.
that the two neighbors have kind of collectively taken over. But it could be that the state could develop and solve the neighbor problem on an easement that already exists. So it was really great. He was a great guy and was just amazed by our little town. Yeah, it was good.
I don't see much room for parking at the zero.
Well, he was thinking, 4 slots diagonal.
Yeah,
You pull
yeah,
the-
I could see 4, but
Yeah.
It depends on where the lot line is,
I guess.
you know?
Yep.
Lot
Well,
lines.
40 feet wide is enough. It's 42 feet wide, I think.
Is that enough for a driveway and diagonal parking?
He
You think
seems-
so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next question is, do we have to do anything, would we be interested in taking that parcel?
Well, that is the next question.
What comes first? Do we have to have a plan from him and then take it? Should we just take it and,
Who ends up owning it? Is it the
The
state?
town.
The town would still
No,
own it.
the
but
town.
They would still pay for the construction and the maintenance of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And was he talking like motorboat access
No.
from that? No.
No.
Just, okay, totally like kayak
Yeah.
and stuff, okay,
Yeah.
like we talked about.
Yep.
Okay.
And nothing even on a trailer. So
Okay,
if your rowboat was on a trailer, there isn't any room for trailer.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And how does this 30 acres
Yeah.
of lake pond bottom figure into?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, where does
Um,
the mix start?
Does the
I
town-
didn't have time to sort through Tom's information that he gave me, but I said, all right, so what else does this man own in town? And he owns 4 other parcels on Central Ave. So it's possible, so Central Ave stops at the stop sign? It must. And then
Which
turn-
stop sign?
The one,
Groton Harvard?
yeah,
Does it come all the way, doesn't Central Ave come all the way?
right, but if you're
Starts
going.
here, it
right.
goes all the way,
goes to where
Down.
you turn to go down to the rotary? Goes Sandy
Rotary.
Pond,
yeah.
goes down to the rotary, so Central must
Oh,
go.
yeah, so that,
right at that
where the
intersection.
two come
Right
in.
at the
Yeah.
big-
Okay,
Yeah.
That-
so he,
that big, yeah.
but the parcel that he, I don't know, I'm gonna have to look at the maps and just, I'll make us a map
Yeah.
showing his other parcels and this parcel, and then we'll have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would assume that Zero Snake Hill, when we walked it, there was quite a bit of water already on
Mhm.
it. It would seem that it has to extend out into the water quite a bit, and,
Right, today.
right. But Zero owns whatever's underwater currently, and,
Or whatever
right,
a
you know what I'm
dock
saying?
would go
Right, so
into.
that Zero
Yeah.
parcel comes out, and
Yeah.
then maybe
Like
that's
a
where the 30
walkway.
acres start, but
Probably a
that
walkway
seems like
and a
it would
dock.
definitely be pretty far into the water
Yeah.
already.
Well, you saw how brushy it was
Yeah.
to get to
Yeah.
open water.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but I imagine that
in a normal season.
the pond parcel
Mhm.
and Zero meet in the brush.
Yeah.
And then to get a dock or something that might bear on the bottom would probably be bearing on this other person's property.
Does it make any difference that we've been helping treat his pond then over there
Yeah.
for years.
He's
Tens of
gonna charge
thousands
us
of
for
dollars.
dumping, right, all the stuff that fell down.
Oh, gosh, it gets complicated really
Neighbors.
fast.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have a flooded wet meadow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100 years old.
Yeah, but, so, that was, I think that's,
That's productive.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, it was good. It was very good.
Wow.
So that was a great suggestion, George, to call fishing and boating access. They have over 300 access points across the state that varying from really long piers on the Cape to little floating fishing platforms
Yeah.
in other places and everything in between.
Wow.
So is our initial next step waiting to hear back from him on his creative ideas, or?
Well, I will send him an email thanking him for coming up and asking,
What's next?
Yep.
Next step.
let him know
Next
what I
steps.
found out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do you know him?
I don't, so
Okay.
Department of Fish and Game, they are a different division. of-
Right.
So everything is under Massachusetts Fish and Game. I'm part of Massachusetts Fisheries and Wildlife, so I
Yep.
deal with wildlife and fish.
Yep.
And then all ecology and habitat management. So fishing and boating access is a different section of us. They do have an office right up the hill.
Yeah.
But I do deal with the guys that are from up there every
Mhm.
once in a while, and they do come in and put in these public areas for people to access fishing areas, and they do incur the costs. Their division has lawyers and realtors and stuff
Yeah.
like that they can try to battle out, or not, I don't want to say battle out, try to figure out, easement issues and stuff for people, who owns the land and how they can, work with everyone to get it so people can enjoy that natural resource, which is that fishing. Because I fish over there all the time, and I'm crossing the road, and me and my girlfriend are crossing the road, and we're trying to catch fish, and it gets clustered, and there's a lot of people. And
Yeah.
Ayer does have a lot of beautiful areas to fish, and so I think that's a great idea to have DFG come and they're fishing. And like you said, they're creative.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of amazing things, and
Yeah.
I've seen one of the most recent things at Chelmsford they've done. And they do a lot of good work, those guys. And you can take that as gospel because I don't work with them, so different division.
Also, on that, just before if you're coming in and going by the town beach, just before you get to the Causeway Bridge,
Uh-huh.
there's a tree that's been
Oh,
down.
beaver.
Oh, the
tree.
beaver?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
saw it
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. The big,
It's like,
yeah.
It's pretty
It's a
good
big
size.
tree.
Yeah.
Pretty good size.
Yeah, that doesn't
nice-
help things.
Nice oak, I know, it doesn't help things at all.
That's the second one that's come down.
Yeah.
The other one.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, they're hungry, aren't they?
Mhm.
and there's a lot of them. They're just
And-
everywhere.
I saw two little ones in my backyard the other day.
Oh.
Yeah, they're chowing down on, but we got a lot of stuff for them to chew on, so I don't care.
Yeah.
All right, next
They're so
item.
cute. They're so cute.
Discussion, conservation analysis for open space residential development zoning bylaw.
Do you all remember this from several meetings ago? This conservation analysis for a new subdivision on Littleton Road across from Shaker
Did we get that?
Road? Yep. This, many meetings ago. So our new open space residential development bylaw is, it's a different thing with red lines on it. Has been put in place as the by right development pattern for new subdivisions. And if a developer wants to put in kind of business as usual subdivision, they have to get a special permit to do that. So open space residential development is here to stay, which is really good. The bylaw as passed by town meeting, was a little light, and the planner here in Ayer would tell you that too, that it was, it could have had a little more meat on its bones. And one of those pieces of flesh should have been a fully formed idea of what the conservation analysis portion of the OSRD process is, and it's just not there. So we've got this new proposed subdivision. It's 13 or 14 lots. It was delivered to town hall 2 hours before town meeting. So they are not bound by the open space requirements of the new bylaw. So that, that's really unfortunate, but they still have to go through the conservation analysis. And so the developer hired Oxbow to go out and produce a really light-duty conservation analysis, because of course they didn't have anything to go by. So the planner would like some input from you all about what a conservation analysis should include. So
the town planner
yep,
wants input.
because it will end up in the regulations, subdivision regulations. It's not in the bylaw, but the bylaw will be tied to the subdivision regulations. So, all bound together in your little binder clip are examples of other open space bylaws and descriptions of their site analysis or conservation analysis. It's called a number of different things. It's basically a really thorough, environmentally focused site assessment that, so we can go through these one by one. I've kind of marked off the
How fast does he need a response?
the planning board has accepted their preliminary site plan. It's got to go to definitive plan.
This is on Littleton Road.
Yep, so soon. The sooner we can do this, the better. I would hate to think that they're going to be able to use this existing one because it's just really...
I don't remember getting this.
I do. I just don't remember.
Well, I can send it to you all electronically.
Yeah, that would be good.
I just didn't bring it.
So the first, in your little packet, the first document is from the Southeast Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission. And it really talks at length about the process of doing one of these open space subdivisions, where the first step is the site analysis. So they're on the second page, they're talking about topography, drainage patterns, vegetation analysis with woodlands, specimen trees, soil types, shore protection areas, wildlife habitat, historic cultural features, existing buildings and structures, scenic vistas, streets, existing physical conditions, off-site within 200 feet. And there's some really good diagrams in here about how this process works. So you take your parcel of land, the engineer, the very first thing they want to do is draw roads and house lots, and if you do this process right, that's the last thing that you do. So the first step is to do a thorough site analysis. The second step is to decide which areas you want to preserve. And the third step is to place house sites, and then the last step is to connect the dots with a road. I don't know how we're gonna be able to train engineers to not just draw roads and houses right away. But the Conservation Commission at this moment in time has a chance to say what this site analysis, the conservation analysis should look like. And then according to the bylaw, the Conservation Commission will make a recommendation for which part of the property is to be the 50% that's preserved as open space. And once the site analysis is done, it's really easy to draw some circles saying, oh, okay, yep, this connects to this feeds into that. It becomes very apparent, but you need a really thorough site analysis.
Is this only for properties with wetland?
No,
So we could play a part in deciding, so a non-wetland parcel,
yeah,
we could play a part in deciding which 50%
yeah, absolutely.
is
Yep.
sort of deemed
For
more valuable.
any proposed subdivision that
You were thinking the
comes.
same way I was. It's like, we have that jurisdiction?
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is really well written and
This is
and it's-
Wisconsin?
Yeah, southeast Wisconsin.
I read the North Carolina one.
Oh,
The
yes.
Durham, the
The-
Raleigh Durham or the,
This one?
yes, that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is also really good.
Yeah.
I didn't give you all a copy
Yeah.
of this because I didn't want to.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So the second one in your packet is from the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission here in Massachusetts. They are really out in front of a lot of things. So there's a sticky note on this isn't page numbered, but if you look at your sticky note, it's right next to 1.53 site context map. And this is another list of site characteristics that is a little different from the first list that we looked at, but this one does include number 9, the biomap, habitat and landscape pieces, because this is a Massachusetts thing, so they know about biomap. Wellhead protection, 10-foot contours or less, slopes, depth of soil to bedrock.
Well, since this is a Massachusetts one, and it doesn't seem, I mean, it seems pretty complete.
Well, but there are some things,
Yeah.
what I'm proposing to do is go through all of these and
And
make a
master.
gigantic list of all of the site characteristics that anybody mentions and eliminate the duplicates and then we can take a look at that. But I wanted you guys to see these because they're so interesting. So the next one that's titled Open Space Residential Development or Conservation Subdivision also has a sticky note on the second page. So step 1, identify the conservation areas, which is a 2-step process: wetlands, and then steep slopes, mature woodlands, prime farmland, meadows, wildlife habitat, cultural features. And then secondly, potentially developable area will be identified and delineated. Then you locate your housing sites and then you draw your roads. The next one, entitled Environmental Inventory Planning Ordinance Text. Bonnie, I thought of you when I read this one. They want you to locate any tree that is 12 inches in diameter at breast height or greater.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do not have that one.
This one.
6.
Well, the numbers, yeah, disregard
Okay.
the numbers. I was trying to be organized and it didn't really work. Field-grown trees, natural drainage ways. Rock outcropping, so you think of that
Yeah, the
really
big
neat
rock, yeah, the
erratic
big full rock,
behind
I know. I know Beaver Brook.
Shaker Pond,
Or
Shaker Mill Pond,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Which is effectively a beaver brook, right?
Beaver Brook.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next one, site, this one doesn't really have a title, it's just a page from the Metropolitan Area Planning Council. Site context map, 2A, 2B, existing site conditions, site analysis map, wetlands, riverfront areas, floodplain, steep slopes, mature undegraded woodlands, hedgerows, farmland, historic features, cultural features, geologic formations, scenic views into and out of the property.
Well, that would be one entry and one exit.
The next document is this is a fabulous journal article about conservation development. And there's a sticky note there too on page 28 at the bottom. This talks about conservation development as a planning tool, where the second step in the background stage is perhaps the most important of the 4, mapping of the resources on the site. It's crucial, consultant, cultural fee, it's this, we're starting to hear the same thing over and over and over again. But this one mentions groundwater.
Oh, yeah?
Wouldn't it be interesting if somebody had done some groundwater testing at, say, Trevor Trail or anywhere else?
Pengreen Hill.
Yeah. And they talk about it in terms of septic systems, but, we're seeing people build basements in places where they don't really belong. This is a really great article. It's very well written. And the last thing is a color photo of an accidental sort of conservation analysis of the fire station.
Of Ayer's Fire?
Ayer's Fire Station, yeah.
Yeah, I did notice that was in there. Like, did she just sort
Yeah,
of
no, because
kind of misplace that?
this has got very close contours, as you can see, the black lines. So you can really get a sense of the shape of this land. If you look down in the legend, we've got stormwater discharge, we've got a culvert, we've got some soil testing, we've got wetland flags in little black dots, we've got a delineated wetland boundary, the 100-foot buffer, the limit of 100-year flood.
Now, where is that, where's the flooding currently in this area?
Back of the parking lot.
And into
Like
the
right
building.
now? Right now.
Oh,
Is
I
it
don't-
actually into the building now?
No, I don't think it is right now. But this is a project that they're going to be looking to do compensatory storage on another piece of town-owned land. That's a whole story for another day. But they accidentally did practically a conservation analysis here.
Yeah.
This is a really good site assessment of this But if you look, when you look at this document that Oxbow
No.
developed for
No.
this project.
No,
it-
because the plan is just to go into that one area and cut down everything
Yeah.
and
It's a-
bulldoze and build houses.
as many as they can.
Right. Just carve it up and,
Without seeming to take advantage of the smaller house lot provision of the OSRD. So this is what they said is how they kind of parsed out,
Resources.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't have good instructions when they did it. They were flying blind, and this really doesn't have any value. So I would propose that I go through all these and, as I said, make a list of all the aspects, parameters, and that we create our own requirement for a site analysis.
Okay.
And we review it at our next meeting.
Yeah. I told Mark it would take us a couple meetings to figure this out.
we have a couple meetings to figure it out and then go from there.
We have at least the next one.
Yeah.
I think before
Yeah.
they have to do the definitive. The timing on
Yeah.
all this couldn't have been worse. Just,
Yeah.
Now, are they gonna do something like this on Shaker Mill?
they're gonna have to, and they're gonna have to also adhere to the new, divvying up of the 50% open space. There is a little diagram that the planner has made, that's really too complicated to go into now, but yeah, they're gonna have to adhere to the new open space proportions, and they're gonna have to do this, whatever you come up with for a really detailed site analysis. And the recommendations by the Conservation Commission of where the open space is.
Okay.
And basically on that one, even though they will say they've done all this work on designing it and adjusting design, we want to say you've put the cart before the horse.
Exactly.
And we're not bound by that.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying getting the engineers around here to understand that the process that they're used to doesn't apply anymore. It's a different game. I don't know how we're going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember the heating system used to be
Yeah,
this
so
noisy.
noisy.
Sounds like a cat in a dryer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Shoes, sneakers.
Or
Sneakers.
sneakers.
in the drawing.
Right, right.
You'd be here. Conservation Commission meeting dates. Oh, dates.
Next,
Dates.
approval of 2019 Conservation Commission meeting dates.
For November and December, it's a little better next year because of where everything falls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think Thanksgiving's the last week, right?
yeah, it's late.
Yeah.
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 So basically, everything is second and fourth
Fourth.
Thursday until we get to November and December, and then it's first and third.
It's fine. Looks good to me.
Mhm.
I'm okay with that.
Good.
Are there any, so there are no 3-week?
No, there always are, because you've got 52 weeks in the year,
Right.
no matter what, and we have 24 meetings, so they're always going to be. They're just,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're well distributed.
Okay. Well distributed.
So 4 times a year at least we get that.
Yeah, I have a.
Yeah, we do have like from the 19th to next to January, that's at least a 3-week. But
All right.
do we have to vote on it or? No.
No.
So then you have to give it to Carly to get the room assignments first. And then, once she confirms that, then it goes to Cindy to put on the website.
Gotcha.
Did we do the budget? Is this the,
That's going to be in office updates.
oh, office update, okay.
Which is next.
Which is next.
Next.
Yep. All right. All right. The site of Air Solar 2 has had a 40B housing development proposed that looks like this. And the department head review, I talked to George about this. I thought, well, you know what, just showing them graphically where the Conservation Commission has jurisdiction on this project might be the most effective thing to do. So they're proposing to come in off Washington Street over a wetland crossing and develop, I want to say 50,
It's 54, wasn't it?
54, 58,
Yeah.
some,
I thought 55.
yeah,
Okay.
something.
55 townhouse-style condos.
55, okay.
Yeah.
And I did a little GIS mapping. The almost every bit of the site is in priority habitat of rare species, estimated habitat of rare wildlife, and the whole thing is in an ACEC.
Well, that's kind of interesting because when we, approved for Solar 2 to begin with, they hire a biologist to go in there. And they basically came back with, no, it's nothing real special about that area.
But
Did he know it was in these? I suppose you just have to go in and confirm, but
We hired somebody to do that?
We hired somebody with Solar 2,
Solar Smoke?
yeah, together, yeah.
we did a
Was that biological analysis, right?
yeah, and then they also had to do a habitat impact analysis.
Yeah.
But, it's ACEC, but the state has, up to now at least, had a bias toward favoring solar projects.
Mhm.
And solar projects that have posts into the ground, but a lot of ground still preserved, are a whole lot different than
And
a residential development.
Right,
So I don't know, I'd want a whole different,
yeah.
if this were to come before us, I'd personally want a whole different
Yeah,
environmental impact.
right.
But are you saying that because of posts going in the ground to support a solar panel, as opposed to foundations, you mean?
Foundations, there's impermeable surface, there's very little impermeable surface with solar installation. You
Where
just
was
have the
this-
posts.
Was the
Right.
solar basically in the same spots as where the homes are? Was that the original
it
proposal?
was most up,
Yeah,
up
mostly
here.
in that area.
Which
is-
was out of our
And not-
jurisdiction.
Yeah, not
along
down
that-
here.
That area.
Yep.
So I guess I would wonder, is that,
Yeah.
because considering panel, that they would be just much more dense, and maybe it's
Yeah.
the same sort of ground impact, but, don't know.
Well,
Yeah, well, the impact of the road as well,
the-
I mean,
that's
that
the key
wetland
point.
crossing and.
True.
um,
I mean, they still would have had access, but it wouldn't have been that, it probably would have been gravel, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and wouldn't have been
Yeah.
as wide.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
This
a
is
very
gonna have to be
small
Yeah, maybe
access
two-way,
road,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
And,
I did,
Yeah.
when I was seeing Mark Wetzel about something else, we were mentioning this, and he said, an access road for occasional access to the solar panel maintenance coming off of Washington Street at a
On that
harsh angle,
curve, yeah.
on a curve on a
Yeah,
hill,
on a
yeah.
hill.
is very different from a street accessing
Right.
55 townhouses, and he didn't think he'd approve that, for that kind of street design at least.
Yeah.
It's just very dangerous.
Now, is that
Yeah.
you said you were looking in GIS, is that the paper road, basically, that's what they're following? Isn't there a road that goes through there, I think
It
I
is
saw
a
in
pa-
GIS?
it is a paper
Comes out
road.
the other way somewhere?
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, the even more interesting thing than that is that the developer doesn't own this parcel or this parcel. They own this parcel, and there's apparently some kind of easement agreement across these other two parcels for the
For the paper road.
for the road.
So
But then
sort
I
of
don't know. Do you
like
get
a
an
flag parcel,
do you
flag
get-
pole or something?
you get an easement to build on somebody else's property? Probably not.
Mm.
well,
So-
I sent, Carly kind of a private citizen's email,
Mhm.
because I think this is one parcel because of the paper road and because of the access to the rail trail, quick access to the high school. It's kind of a pre-existing kind of nice area, it's ACEC. Maybe, I think it would be a nice parcel to try to purchase, right, for the town, if it was, agreeable,
Mm-hmm.
on the seller's point of view, but.
But then you would be looking at this parcel because these two parcels aren't for sale.
Right.
So we'd have a landlocked
Yeah,
parcel with no access.
and then the parcel where the bulk of the buildings are, that we have no jurisdiction over anyways, presents a problem.
But you don't have vehicular access, but maybe via the rail trail you'd have access? Is that what you're thinking, Bonnie?
Yeah, there is a path people use this path a lot.
Well, and there is a
Um,
trail. This shows up on GIS. There is
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
an informal trail.
right. And it does connect to the paper road as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you were thinking of that it would be a nice acquisition for the town for where the bulk of the houses are, that
Mhm.
parcel. It's not in our jurisdiction, but it's ACEC and a good connectivity. And
Yeah, I originally thought that it was this parcel and this parcel. And I thought that mostly of the wetland parcel was, prior, was another owner, which, maybe convinced them to,
Yeah, and
connect and sell and connect as well, but.
I'll double check, but I think these
We've
two
got
parcels are
Ours.
owned by the same
yeah.
person, and it's different from who owns this parcel.
Okay, all right, I see.
How big is that parcel? The one that they own, that solar?
I don't even know. Does the lawyer letter say?
49.79 acres in size
49
for the
acres.
locusts. Yeah, 50 acres.
50 acres.
Well, and the letter from the attorney is proposing this as a friendly 40B, so the so-called friendly 40B.
Mhm.
So they are looking for input from the town. They're proposing a higher than usual percentage of the units to be affordable housing. And I don't know if this is well, if we can't build solar, we're gonna build this instead, so maybe it's more reasonable to build solar after all. Kind of proposal. Hard to know.
Yeah. I thought the money's dried up for like state subsidies for solar.
They're just.
Or about to dry up or,
Well, in
They
places,
just opened up a whole new bag of it called Smart Solar.
oh really?
They want like 800 megawatts more.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be seeing some massive ones, like power plant size ones.
Oh,
going
really?
shortly.
Wow, okay.
and I think the state prefers they not be in places where you have to go in and cut down all the trees.
Yeah.
They'd rather have
Yeah.
it be,
Landfills and on top of buildings.
yeah, covered parking,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
you know, places that are already developed.
Exactly.
Right,
Um,
right.
So-
The
Yeah.
proper way to do it.
Yeah. I just, I think that, my personal opinion is that Ayer doesn't have much open space left. And we're putting in, these huge housing developments and we're cutting down everything
Yep.
to get these things in. Very close to wetland, and we're losing our connectivity, wildlife corridors are being lost.
Yeah.
At a very fast clip.
Yep.
Bears are now going through my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Not fun to see them, but it's not their natural habitat.
Yep.
So the Board of Selectmen are considering this next Tuesday at their meeting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I might go.
Well, so
Yeah.
there's that. George suggested very wisely that I attend this Lunch and Learn webinar put on by MACC on how and why to hire a consultant or a peer review person for a conservation project. And it was great. I've included just a couple slides from it for you. I think we know a lot of these things already, but the idea of supplementing staff and commission time and expertise is a great reason to hire a consultant. Ensuring objectivity. You need to make sure that there are no conflicts of interest. And, every time I talk to Paul, our current consultant, I learn all kinds of interesting things. And these are the various sorts of things that a peer reviewer can do. And I know
So when would we like choose or pull the trigger to hire a outside consultant?
Well, I would think anytime we don't feel we have the expertise to make a good, solid decision. And it seems that it doesn't need to be a big, gigantic project. It can be, a little project with pointy edges on it that, and the applicant needs to pay for our comfort level.
Right.
Well, I do remember on the Shaker Hill, the ANRAD, the engineer saying, well, you hire your consultant, I'll hire mine to contradict your consultant. And it's like, But at the MACC conference, the point was made, it's not their consultant versus our consultant.
Right.
It's just,
It's the consultant giving us better information for the decision that we make.
Right.
Right.
And they
Right.
can hire their consultant, you know, if they want to challenge our decision, then it's an appeal. So,
Right, right.
Yeah.
Right,
um,
right.
But so it's not which consultant,
Right,
Yeah.
right. It
Right.
repeats the other one.
Right.
it's just
Right.
informing us.
Yeah, it's just-
Exactly.
it's information gathering.
Yeah.
Yep.
Getting, right.
So it was a half hour very, very well spent. He also talked a little bit about the etiquette of the peer reviewer. When coming to a meeting, as the peer reviewer, you should not speak until you're spoken to. You should remember that the commission is running the meeting. You should never just go unannounced onto somebody's land. You know, he had a good list of
guidelines.
yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
what makes a
Yeah.
quality consultant.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that was
A little bit of a resume.
um, that was really interesting. I had a great visit with Mike Callahan from Beaver Solutions the other day. We
In person?
in person. Here he is under the Long Pond Spillway.
Oh, yeah.
Did he open up some spots in that beaver dam?
In this one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was hoping that after he came and maintained this last year, that the beavers would get the hint and build toward the pond rather than toward the spillway.
Uh-huh.
And he said, "Oh, they listened." So there was all kinds of water boiling through here. The water is so high.
Uh-huh.
Or I know, and you know what?
That's it.
This is supposed to be a video. It worked on my computer, but it
I
doesn't.
took one the other day.
I was so disappointed because he's waving his arms and he's pointing, and it was really dynamic.
I've never seen a flow
Because
like
there were a
that.
couple spots where it sort of breached on the top.
Yes,
I don't know if that, and he did that?
he did that.
I was thinking it was the beavers.
No, this
That's
is
impressive.
This was the
Wow.
downhill side. But
That's impressive.
so
too.
his concern was that this be all cleaned out here,
Mhm.
and they moved some of this stuff back
Uh-huh.
further towards the pond,
Uh-huh.
and then on the corners they cleaned out
Mhm.
some of the
So the water could come in through the,
yeah.
around the corner.
Is that just debris that's built up, or was
No,
that
that's
put there from the beaver?
that's beavers.
Oh.
That's beavers.
All beaver
I thought when we saw it
activity.
over by the other place, we said that we're not supposed to touch that stuff. I thought that was the deal.
He's
He's licensed, okay.
he's yeah
Okay.
he's yeah.
So that's how they opened it up in there?
Yeah, they moved this stuff back to
Yeah.
the.
So you can see a comparison.
Mm.
As much as I wanted to stay there and watch them work, I didn't figure they would really appreciate me hanging over the bridge, and I had other stuff to do. So, but I did take him to Rosewood Ave extension culvert to look at that.
Uh-huh.
And he was going to get in touch with the developer and
Uh-huh.
the owner of that
Uh-huh.
because
Is that
it is.
starting to fail?
Oh, it's so much higher than it was when you guys were there.
Wow.
There's
Not
got to
just the
be.
one square anymore, is it?
It's coming over the whole.
Over the top.
whole.
Nice.
Yeah.
Water's high.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah. It was so pretty. It was just beautiful out there. So we also went down to the end of Pleasant Street Extension to see how much freeboard sewer manhole
Oh, yeah.
head.
Yep.
He figures if the water backs up another 8 to 10 inches, which is likely,
Uh-huh.
that that manhole's going to be underwater again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did he do the one at,
Rock. Yep, he not on this trip, but on a previous trip. He said that one. That's just a pipe, I guess, through the dam. That one's in good shape. So the Peroni Park perimeter path project has been postponed
what?
because of precipitation. How's that?
Oh,
Keep going.
That's all I got.
Hmm.
Well,
They yeah.
Looks like they did some digging.
Yeah, they did, and they've got the stone dust and crushed stone
Uh-huh.
in.
Are they afraid it's just gonna wash away?
It's just been too wet to work
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
with all the rain.
Yeah.
They're pretty sure they're going to get it paved before the asphalt plant closes in about a week.
Oh, so it's just postponed for a few
Not
days.
permanently.
Yeah.
Well, not if it rains on Sunday.
I know. Rain and snow.
Yeah,
We're supposed to get
it's
snow
gonna
as
rain,
well.
Or some of rain.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be 50.
Yeah, Sunday and Monday, yeah,
Mhm.
or almost. And then it changes.
So when George came in on Tuesday afternoon, Calvin Moore was already sitting in my office
Nice.
to talk about 217 West Main Street. Calvin had proposed paving around the two storage buildings that are up right now, 16 feet this way, going towards the street. Paving, I think, George, that plan was all the way out to the street.
Yeah,
The paving is to stop at this back corner of both buildings.
Is it on the plan, 16 feet?
Well, eventually the whole thing's gonna be paved.
I mean, that's the width over to that little storage one, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
About 15 or
oh.
16 feet
Yeah.
between the two, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
but he wants to get this in before winter, and that's all he's gonna be able to do.
Mm.
He's not gonna be able to finish the storm water stuff that's
Mm.
scheduled to be down in this neck of the woods. So he
Mhm.
he dug a trench. The phone kind of flattens out this is about 4 feet here. It's,
Mhm.
and you can see it's very sandy material.
Yep.
So George said, yep, that seems reasonable. And whether he actually gets the paving company to come out, everybody's scrambling to get paving done this time of year.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I haven't gone over yet, George, to see if he did fix those erosion controls that were broken down.
yeah.
He said he was going to do it right away. So that's that. Pingree Hill,
Did you
oh
notice on
my.
remember those catch basin things?
Yep,
It looked like they covered those
I didn't.
access holes, I noticed.
Oh, the rectangular access holes? Didn't get over to that end of the site the day I took these pictures, so I'll go
It
check.
didn't look like the mesh or the grate, from what I remember reading in it.
Mhm.
It looked like boards just kind of stuck on it or something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
On Sunday this week, Tuesday maybe, I met Luke Pyburn up on Pingree Hill to do the pre-construction visit for the next 2 lots that they want to open up on Woodland Way, and everything looked fine. And then we walked down towards This is the outlet of the wetland crossing. And you can see a little bit of sediment in here. The water was kind of cloudy. And I thought, if this is the wetland crossing, this should just be crystal clear water. Why is this? And he and I walked back up the hill, looking into basins as we went. And when we got up near where the water tower roadway comes down to that basin, we discovered that the water is extremely turbid, and the outlet structure is missing a gasket, or the gasket got gaffed up when they put it together, and all this turbid water is leaking into the outlet structure and going out into the wetland and mixing with the clean water and coming out at the wetland crossing with a turbidity, as Desheng was able to determine, of about 10, which isn't much, but so-
more than a wetland crossing.
Yeah. The turbidity in that uppermost basin was 40 plus something, and 50 is a problem.
You know how they're gonna remedy that?
Well, because it's coming out down here at the wetland crossing at 10, there's nothing to be remedied.
But
But
they're
then-
replacing the gasket at least.
But then between the,
Desheng is happy to have the water leaking in rather than pouring in the inlet. So the inlet's about an 8-inch pipe.
How much higher is that?
Maybe 3 inches.
Oh,
Yeah.
so, okay, so this gasket's just below that
Yeah.
opening?
Yep. So Desheng and I spent a long time up there, walking all over, looking at all kinds of things, talking about the number of lots that they want to open over the winter, talking about the condition of the open lots
currently,
currently,
yeah.
which includes a muddy mess that I'll show you in just a sec. We also talked about, so to orient you here, we were all standing right here looking down the fabric
Yeah, oh.
pathway to where the water disappeared in the hole.
Yeah.
So they repaired the hole, and they've covered that whole entire
Wow.
area with this big
Wow.
big stone. There you can
You
see.
can see the, like,
Yeah, it's
You
still
can
flowing.
see
Yeah.
there is so much water coming down here. It's unbelievable. But now it's in the stone and on top of the fabric. And what's getting out into the wetland has a turbidity of 10, because this 9405 basin is completely full. The one next to it up here is completely full. The one to our right is completely full. I don't know what's going to happen.
And they're still considering putting their outlet off on the left, correct? Right?
Well, that's where
Is
it's
that where the-
that's where it's called for. They're not going to do it this winter. They have nowhere to put this water. They can't. So here's basically looking down. You can see the water, and it's all just gurgling down through here.
Well, maybe they take one of the basins and dig it out and make a very deep pond.
Yeah, The problem is you can't get machinery down there because the ground is so wet.
Well,
It
you
just,
can't get it into the water to dig.
I know,
Then
you have
you've
to
got-
drain it.
Then you've got
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of oil and
where do you,
water.
yeah, where do
Where do you put all that
where do you dam the water up the stream?
yeah. So Desheng and I were trying to make a winter
Oh.
stabilization plan
Oh my God.
for the site, given that there's some erosion happening on the roadways, on the edge of the roadways. The current open lots look like this. So materials getting dragged out onto the street, which ends up in the storm drain, which ends up in the basin, which leaks through the gasket and mixes with, it just,
Is that a basin right there off to the right? Is it like with the mesh around it possibly right there?
this?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think
It's like
so.
snow.
No, is it snow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Snow.
So they're supposed to, I think, have what they call mud traps at these construction entrances. There's only supposed to be one, possibly two construction entrances to a site, not 125 feet of a construction entrance. There are lots of boulders on the site, and I suggested to Desheng a way to keep all this stuff from ending up down in the wetlands is to really severely limit access to these lots over the winter through a properly constructed construction entrance. And that as the developer comes to us for more and more pre-construction inspections, that we have the ability to say, okay, you need to make all your open lots conform, and any new lots, you absolutely have to have appropriate construction entrances. And Desheng thought that was very reasonable and would help a lot, keeping this material out of the water, out of the wetlands. This is the house that's on the lot that had the drain, the two drains put
Oh.
behind it.
Back to the left corner or the right corner?
They actually kind of come out,
Oh, is this the lot where the drains came onto the property?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's
over
left
to the
corner.
left, right?
Yeah.
And then down, yeah, and then down.
yeah, they're back here. That other big house is to the left.
Right.
And behind this house, there's they need to do some housekeeping too.
Yeah, it is a big muddy mess up
Oh,
there.
it is a big muddy mess, and
Mm.
and the only way out is through. You know, we've got to get this finished, but they can't make a huge mess while they're doing it. So Desheng is going to write his next report in the form of a winter stabilization plan with a list of things that need to be attended to.
Does this get monitored like week to week?
He's up there after every rain event, so he's been up there a lot.
Has he? Okay.
And I get up there probably about every 2 weeks now, unless Luke calls me for an inspection. Yep. So
Yeah.
that's the state of affairs at Pingree Hill. The oil spill cleanup, they're working, so they're coming across here rather than going along the blue lines.
Yep.
And yet, I think the weekly report that he sent said that they did the easternmost channel in the wetland, which doesn't make any sense to me now that they're actually working east to west. And I didn't get down there this week, so They haven't started any replication yet, and they haven't started any soil replacement. But they've taken something like 37 tons of material out of here.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
That's not that much though, really. 37 tons.
Well, dirt is heavy, you're right, yeah.
Wet dirt,
Yeah.
water's heavy.
Yep. So fishing and boating access, we already talked about. We've got an RDA for 1 Sandy Way. He wants to basically expand the footprint of a little shed on the water side of his house into a 3-season room on posts. And everything was going along great till he said, oh, yes, and this is the intermittent stream that runs like 15 feet from the corner of,
It's 3-season room.
yeah. So I'm going out there on Monday to take a look. And that's the end of that.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. The office has moved downstairs.
Yeah?
Yep.
When's the tour?
Right after the
Is it-
meeting,
is it good?
because
You
you
like
can
it?
help me carry the box back. And equally as exciting, we have a new office computer with a new operating system and a monitor that's this big.
Wow.
And Cindy said she could get me another one to hang on the wall between the windows.
Wow.
And I had no idea how slow the laptop had become and how much time I was waiting for things to happen until
You get
this
the new
thing
computer.
is like a Lamborghini. It's unbelievable.
It's awesome.
My computer's turned into a horse and buggy.
Oh.
Come on, you can do it.
You can do it.
Come on, you can do it.
So the last little thing is it's coming up on budget season, so here's where we are. When George came in, I was talking to him briefly about maybe doing some budgeting so that we can have in the office some of these neat resources that we could give to people when we give them an order. Stop aquatic hitchhikers. That's the one. And I can pass these. Some of them I think might be free from the state. Some of them are Mass Audubon
Yeah, we should
publications.
find out how much free stuff we can get.
Oh yeah. Well, and I've got an in with Fish and Wildlife. Do you know Pam Landry? She's in Westboro. She's the statewide education.
Oh, Marianne Larson's the one that runs the IEP department.
Yeah.
So Pam must be underneath her.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
yeah, Marianne
Yep.
must be EPO.
I've known Pam for years. She sent me a box this big of free stuff
Oh, yeah,
last fall.
we've got pamphlets upon pamphlets that
Good.
we've given people, abstracts, anything,
Yep.
which is,
She sent me an entire box of abstracts. I only have 3 left.
oh, what season do you need?
We need the 2019.
I can bring you a box, because that's.
Awesome.
All last week I was delivering abstracts all across.
Great. I keep them in our little pamphlet rack here with a sticker saying compliments of Air Conservation
Medicinal
Commission.
leech.
And as fast as I put them
Medicinal
out, they
leech.
disappear.
Oh, yeah, I can bring you a box of them.
Is
They
a
come in boxes of
blood-sucking
7.
worm that preys
Okay.
So
mostly on
next week is
turtles
when I'm
and
actually, like,
amphibians.
first free day off, I have to go to Tantascwa for
You
a
got those?
talk, but this
Mhm.
week
Yeah,
I'm stuck
leeches.
Deer Jack,
Sweet.
Yep.
and then I have to go
You
do a
haven't
bear
seen
call
leeches.
Just in Sandy Pond or just in?
next
Yeah.
Tuesday.
They're planning
so
in those
Monday I
meetings,
can-
yeah.
They're in the
I'll
sandy
bring you a
pond.
box.
Are they in Sandy Point?
Great.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, oh, it didn't move.
I didn't move. That's not mud.
Freaked my daughter out the first time she got one back in Syracuse.
Oh, she must have flipped.
Oh, she was
right?
like 2 years old and was like, it's like stuck on her upper leg, you know, she's like, out of the water. I don't like it.
Just tell her that's always been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Can I take one of these?
Yeah.
So do we have to do an official form for
Pretty soon.
pretty soon?
Yeah.
14th.
So it's after our next meeting? After our next meeting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we need to request a budget
At our next meeting?
at the next meeting?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, on the
That's what-
official form?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right.
And would that be where we'd also put in the item for $25,000 for pond treatment?
That would come later. This is just the omnibus.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
But probably we should mention it to Robert, that,
Yeah.
so he has it in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got one of these.
That I got from the workshop I went to this summer. This is really neat. It's printed, I think that this is printed on Tyvek, so it's, you can
Mm-hmm.
get it
outside.
soaking wet in your boat.
Yes,
and
right, and it's
this
still,
is really
it won't
nice.
dissolve. Yeah,
So
this is
there's
really
a-
Is
cool.
that like the latest edition? I see that one says selected, where that one didn't say selected on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
But there has to be, there was some interesting video on the lifespan of dragonflies that was circulating on Facebook.
That
It was
funny.
hilariously
The guy,
narrated,
I know,
but
that was really funny.
it's quite
Have you seen
informative
this
too.
from-
It was.
They
Yeah.
breathe through their butts.
I worked for Mass Audubon for a little while.
Oh, good. I did too.
Oh, yeah.
Long time ago.
I worked at Broad Meadowbrook.
Oh, so you know Deb Carey.
I do.
Yes, I know her very well too. I worked at Drumlin Farm.
Oh, Redland Farm. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. And this one about dragonflies and damselflies is really lovely.
I have seen this. I do a lot of work with dragonflies.
There's one weed in the water that it doesn't turn green, it's tan.
Pond, I think it's called pondweed.
That is
actually.
pondweed?
Yeah.
Pondweed? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not an invasive then.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And it kind of just lays, it comes
Yeah.
up and just lays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really descriptive name.
Pondweed.
Everyone's a lot of text on this run out of names.
Vanwort.
So,
All right.
so anytime Marion Stoddard has come in to ask me to do something for her, she always comes with a present. And I can show you one of the ones that she brought to us. And it's a very good way of making friends.
Mhm.
Just having a little, just
It's a little gift.
just a little something.
Mhm.
All right, so I did try to call New England Wildflower Society today, and like 7 minutes into the pre-recorded, there was like no way to actually get to a person. I just gave up. But this invasive plant, this is really,
Yes.
yeah, this is nice.
Yep.
If you want yellow iris, you can plant blue iris.
Yeah, I didn't realize yellow iris was invasive.
Oh, yeah. The
So sad. 'cause
pseudoacarus.
It's so pretty.
It's so awful, yeah.
All right, should
Honeysuckle.
someone make a motion to adjourn?
Oh, yeah,
Or we-
wait,
do we,
Remember,
what else do we have to do? Oh, sorry, sorry.
just wanted to
Getting
say,
tired.
are we all
Yeah.
hoping that the community garden can have a notice of
No.
intent ready for the end of December? So my
Uh-huh.
question there was, are we really having a meeting on December 27th? But will we have a quorum for a meeting on December
On the
27th?
27.
I don't think I'll be around.
Yeah.
Gonna be in Ohio.
Makes it difficult.
Mm.
I'll be here.
I'll be here.
I may not be here.
All right, we just need 3, so, yeah. Okay. That was my only question.
And if there's just be a, present the application, then we'd have to do a sidewalk. So,
Yeah,
you don't need everybody here.
right.
hopefully we'll have a plan by then.
Yeah.
I didn't hear back from Mark after your very nice email to him.
That was a good suggestion, George.
Yeah. So I
That Mark include Joanne when, Mark Wetzel's gonna go out and lay it out.
Uh-huh.
Because when I talked to him, he said the community garden folks just needed to make their markers and then the DPW could go out and GPS the,
Uh-huh.
and, but I gather he met with Sheila from the community garden group and
Uh-huh.
decided maybe they ought to go out, DPW ought to go out and do the layout.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then George
Yeah.
said, and you should take Joanne.
Right, right. Yep,
So,
yeah, yep.
Anything else?
that was it for me.
Make motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, and good night. So what'd you think? This was not a typical meeting.
No, you guys have a lot of stuff going on, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I don't always get to work with what I want to work with.